Welcome to Lesson 6, Assignment Help. This week's lesson, we covered both making and using different types of graphs. We learned about the pie graph, the line graph, the bar graph, the infograph, flowcharts. We also learned that there were certain kind of graphs that lent themselves to numbers. If you were dealing with an article that had a lot of statistics, a lot of numbers, a lot of percentages, here's where the pie graph, the line graph, the bar graph were good graphs to use. Other articles talked about maybe they displayed events, maybe they compared and they contrast. There weren't any numbers that were being used. Here's where the infograph or the flow chart was a good chart to use. For this week's assignment, you have two parts. First, you're going to read an article and you're going to make a graph that shows me the information that you read. So now, if you read an article, some classes have articles that have a lot of numbers on them, percentages, statistics. Here's where your pie graph, your line graph, your bar graph probably would come in. You decide which kind of graph you want to use. If your brain likes to use the pie graph, then display that information in a pie graph. Personally, I kind of like displaying information in a bar graph. So I would probably choose the bar graph. It's purely up to the way you think, the way you learn, how you want to display that information. Now, you may be in a class that's got an article that has no numbers to it, no percentages, no statistics. It's comparing different ideas. It's displaying just information. Here's where you're probably going to want to choose an infograph or a flow chart. That's the first part of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is a written part. You're going to first tell me, why did you choose that graph? And how did you go about making the graph? What did you have to do to make the graph? Second, you're going to tell me about the information you took from the article and what you put inside your graph. You're going to explain what that information means. Okay, now you're going to finally take a look at the good old rubric, because this is what I use. This is in front of me. This is what I use to grade your paper. I'm turning it around this way. Okay, first, I'm going to look to see that you did create a visual and your visual aid matched the content of what you read. Second, you have a summary. And in your summary, you're going to explain you're going to explain all of the information that is in your visual aid. You're going to put it in your own words. Third, you're going to write a 200-word reflection. Now, once again, I'm not counting words, but something that's 25 words is nowhere close to 200. Close to 200, which is a little less than one page typed. And your reflection is going to tell me why you chose that graph, how you made the graph. Fourth, application. I want to be able to look at what you wrote, what you created, and see that I can find that information from inside of this week's online lesson. So I want to see if you applied what you learned. Convention. Is your writing clear? If I have to read it 4 or 5 times, it is not clear. I should have to read it once, maybe twice. Few grammar and few spelling mistakes. One more thing. In your lesson, there will be links that will tell you that you can click on that will help you make your graph electronically. As I always say, if you have any questions, you need any more information, that's what I'm here for. I want you to be successful, and please just send me an email and I will be very happy to get back to you with some help. So, happy reading.